you're looking at is a sold-out house at Austin, Texas Memorial Stadium. They're even sitting on the tracks in folding chairs because tonight it is number 3, the Houston Cougars in town to take on the Texas Longhorns, ranked number 14. Hi, everybody. I'm Ron Franklin. The game of the year in the Southwest Conference, and the Houston Cougars are a football team that everybody has really had problems getting a grasp on, and we'll show you why. Check out these numbers. They lead the nation total yards per game. They lead the nation in passing yardage per game. They're number 3 in the nation, 42.6 points per game. Gary Danielson, the run and shoot really can put up some gaudy numbers.
It's unbelievable. You know, there's been a little bit of criticism that it's just go out and get open. But believe me, there's a lot of sophistication. They have to have communication between the receivers and the quarterbacks. But I like the way Texas is going to try to defense them tonight. David McWilliams says, I trust you guys. I have confidence. We're going to line up in our defense. We're going to not change. We're going to adjust, and we're going to go at you. But the key, they must stop Weatherspoon. He's had 379 yards over the last 2 years. Key to the game offensively.
Well, Neil Lomax is with us down in the field tonight, and this is a real bonus because he played college football at Portland State under Mouse Davis, and of course their offense was the run and shoot. Neil, give us a better idea of what we can expect tonight.
Well, the run and shoot is a 4-wide receiver offense that's designed to score as quickly, as fast, and as often as possible. You know, when I was at Portland State throwing for 4 touchdowns, 400 yards, I thought it was a pretty good night. But the game and the offense has evolved so much under John Jenkins. The numbers are staggering. I mean, it's a fast-paced, fast-break, home run type of offense that's very exciting to watch. Back to you guys.
Okay, Neil, we'll look forward to hearing from you over the course of the evening. ESPN's College Football Saturday, Houston versus Texas, is brought to you by Bridgestone. For a free tire checkup and rotation, visit your participating Bridgestone retailer through November the 30th. By Levi's, 505, 506, and 540 jeans. And by Sony Trinitron XDR, the screen behind the scenes.
This is Ham.
Memorial Stadium, Austin, Texas. As the Longhorns take the field, the Cougars had taken it just a couple of moments ago. And we are just about set for, as I said, what should be the game of the year in the Southwest Conference. This is the series history. First meeting, 1953. Texas leads at 8-6-2. Houston has averaged 57.6 points in the last 3 meetings. In fact, last year's ball game was the Cougars 47 at Texas 9. John Jenkins visits with his junior quarterback, David Klingler, out of Stratford, Texas, or Houston, actually, Stratford High School in Houston. And the Houston Cougar faithful, a lot of red to the right. Southwest Conference standings so far. University of Texas with a mark of 4-0 in the conference. Houston, of course, the asterisk there. The reason they are ineligible for Southwest Conference Championship and the Cotton Bowl is because of sanctions to the NCAA. Baylor, then comes Texas A&M, and for the Longhorns, well, they got to break a string, Gary Danielson, which has really been a thorn in their side, and it's been more than a thorn the way the Cougars have really put the points on the board against them.
Well, it's with the type of tradition that Texas has around here. They're not used to getting beat, let alone with the scores that they're being thrown up. But it's a new wave offense, and they're starting to get geared into it. They've faced it a few times now, and I think they have an idea and believe that they have the type of team that can stop it this year. Key, though, Ron, they have to play some offense tonight. They have to have some points in their
And this is a good offensive team from Texas.
Well, they were averaging 31 points, and they're very balanced. 188 on offense, rushing the ball, 200 passing the ball. That'll be the key.
Well, the top 10 today, again, it has been a topsy-turvy Saturday as you look at Pollock, who will kick it off for the Longhorns. Notre Dame had to come from behind to defeat Tennessee. They're 8-1. Washington was upset by UCLA. Of course, the Cougars play tonight. Colorado defeated Oklahoma State. The Hurricanes are idle this week. In the Final Five, Iowa upset by Ohio State. Georgia Tech had to come from behind to defeat Virginia Tech. BYU won big. Tennessee lost. And Florida defeated Georgia handily. This is going to come to the near side, bounces into the end zone, and let's take a look at the starters on offense for the Houston Cougars. David Klingler, the junior from Houston, opens at quarterback. Behind him, one running back, Chuck Weatherspoon, La Habra, California, and the wide receivers, Craig Alexander and Verlin Brown, and Manny Hazard and Tracy Good, and they're all very, very good. The center is Greg Jones. Charles Bowman and Mike Giesler, the guards, and the tackles Leroy Truitt and Jason Jessup.
Got to take a look, Ron. This might be a rarity. The only huddle Houston does maybe all night tonight.
That's exactly right. Because after every play, they run the hurry up. Klingler's first pass puts it up long, overthrown. Looking for John Brown III. Defensively, it's a 4-3. James Pathman, Tommy Jeter are the tackles. The defensive ends, Dronette and Giles. The linebacker in the middle is Brian Jones. On the outside, Boone Powell and Anthony Curl. In the secondary, Mark Berry and Grady Cadmus. And Stanley Richard, he's a great hitter, good ball player. And Lance Gunn, those are the safeties. Klingler said last night before practice that the noise would not bother them. But you could tell that the wideouts had to come in a little tighter that time, didn't they? Running play, and Weatherspoon is hit by James Patton. It's going to be a third down for the Cougars, and they will have about 12 yards to pick up the first.
As we talked before, Weatherspoon is a key guy they must stop. They're playing with two linebackers this year. Last year, Texas tried to dial them with only one linebacker. They feel they got two guys. 6 men are in the box. The whole idea is to try to stop that running game from Spoon.
It is intercepted by Texas. Mark Berry.
Two things happen right here. He gets pressure in his face, right in his flank. Klingler has to let it go. Number 60, Jones puts it, makes him throw it real high, and then Berry, good position with the man-to-man on the fade. Puts his arm out a little bit, but he beats him to the spot. The ball is slightly underthrown, and already Texas has the ball in great field position.
Chris Samuels in the ball game, slot to the right side. Gardere, first pass knocked down at the line of scrimmage. And let's check the starters on offense for the Texas Longhorns. Pete Gardere out of Houston Lee High School in Houston, Texas. Behind him, Phil Brown and Butch Hadnot, two freshmen. Keith Cash and Johnny Walker, the wide receivers. The tight end, Kerry Cash, the twin brother. Todd Smith is the center. The offensive line, Dwayne Miller and Jeff Boyd are the guards. And the tackles, Chuck Johnson and Stan Thomas. Draw play, and Samuels hit at the line of scrimmage, and it is going to be a third down and 10. Daniel Johnson with a very good play. Trey Hooper and Steve Mateka are the defensive tackles for the Cougars. The defensive ends, Muko and Bevel. The linebacker in the middle, Ryan McCoy, very good young player. Eric Blunt and Reggie Burnett, the outside backers. John Brown and Jamie Mouton are the quarterbacks, and the safeties, Daniel Johnson and Jerry Parks. Texas goes shotgun. Gardere zips it over the middle, intercepted by Parks, and he will step out of bounds at the 42-yard line. It's his 5th interception, and Pete Gardere was not even close on that one.
They went trips to the far side of the field, Ron, and the ball was just thrown in the wrong spot. He really didn't have anybody zeroed in on the throw. Had fairly good protection. He's throwing against a man-to-man with a free safety in the middle of the field. He overthrows it, and that's where those free safeties gobble up plays like that. Jerry Parks grabs it. He's off to the sideline. Actually made a pretty good play. He could have changed the scoreboard on it.
It's the reason I paused for a moment. I thought he might take it all the way.
He could have.
On the field, the same thing that you will see all night, and that is Houston not use a huddle. Klingler punts once. He's going to run, and Jones will push him out of bounds at the 42-yard line.
Had that play happened on the other sideline, that would have been whistled down because Jones pushed him a little bit late. Klingler went right through the bench. To get pressure on Klingler, you have to take away the short passes. Texas is playing man-to-man. Klingler's going to come out, look for somebody to throw. There's nobody to throw. They're playing man-to-man coverage. Watch Jones, give him a shove. It happens out of bounds. He runs through a couple people, and he's in the bench. That's where it's nice to do that on your own sideline. That couldn't have been called the other way. The idea here is not so much to hurry, but to put pressure on the defense of Texas by calling the ball at the line of scrimmage. Organized chaos is what I like to refer to it.
Flag goes down, and he is sacked by Oscar Giles at the 49-yard line of Houston. The right tackle came out of his stance, I think, Jessup.
Illegal motion by the offense. Penalty declined. Third down.
There was a loss of 8 on the play. That's Wendell Sheldon, who is the referee tonight. Wendell, a veteran of the Southwest Conference. 3,553 yards. That's not career, that's this year. Throws this one sidearm, and it is caught inside the 10 at the 8-yard line by John Brown III. 42 yards.
Klingler is so strong, has such a powerful arm. Watch him come out, throws it going to his left, turns his body, throws almost a jump pass. Now that's pretty good coverage they have right there, right on the sideline to Brown, and he's really turned into the big play receiver in this offense for him, averaging nearly 18 yards a catch now. A track star.
I started to say, Gary, he's a 100-meter guy who has run a 9.8 100 meters. First and goal, Cougars. Weatherspoon, his second carry of the night, and James Patton will step up to make the hit on him.
Texas is still keeping 6 people, 4 down linemen and 2 linebackers. That's the reason. That guy right there, he is so powerful. He's averaging 7 yards a carry, and when he gets inside that 10-yard line, they like to run the shovel pass to him and the draw. The whole design of the defense is not to let Weatherspoon beat him.
Klingler locks it up. They say incomplete, out of bounds. Hazard caught the ball. Stanley Richard tipped it, I believe.
Richard plays free safety, but he's also played corner in his day, and today he's going to match up, and he's going to have to play man-to-man all day. He's taking an outside technique. They try a little pick play. Hazard goes up the sideline. He jumps up here. Let's take a look at it. Oh, that could have been a touchdown right there. He gets his left foot in, I believe, on the lob pass. One more time. See if this is a better look. Yes, he comes down. Texas very fortunate there.
Blitz up the middle. Ball is loose, so they're going to call a forward pass or a fumble. Brian Jones was coming up the middle, and Texas has the football. The sophomore from Bridge City, Texas, made the recovery.
Weatherspoon is shifted to the side, so number 60, Brian Jones, is going to blitz versus this lineup all night. They do not have enough people to pick him up, and he times it perfectly. People to pick him up, and he times it perfectly.
challenger never takes the easy way out.
You're reaching deep inside you for things you've never known. Go!
That's why getting into the Rangers is tough, and the training is tough.
Be all that you can be.
So it makes me feel like I'm part of something really special.
Be all that you can be.
And I'm not the only one.
And it's your life in the Army.
ESPN's College Football Saturday, Houston versus Texas, is brought to you by Infiniti, who invite you to test drive their full line of luxury automobiles. And by Tempstar Furnaces, you can rely on the star. Beautiful shot of the Capitol building here in Austin, Texas. It is a wonderful night. Temperature in the low 60s, going to be in the mid-50s by game's end. Head to the right side, and McCoy steps through and knocks him down behind the line of scrimmage. McCoy, a freshman from Beaumont.
Another one of those freshmen that were playing high school football last year. Texas has to establish some running game. Hadnot's going to get the ball in the one-back set. He's going to try to bounce outside, but look at McCoy. Pursue him and drag him down from behind. These kids, I don't understand anymore. From high school to playing big-time football in 1 year, you know.
Chris Samuels. Nice cut back. Has 5, has 10. Check it, not quite 10. He is, well, it will be a gain of 10, but he won't have the first down because of the loss in the last play, and it will be out to the 18-yard line.
Chris Samuels is normally their possession back coming out of the backfield. They like to throw him the ball. He's had 20 receptions this year already, but if he can get the little draws in the running game, it's just going to be that much better. Establishing that running game would be nice for the Texas offense.
What everybody tries to do against Houston is play ball control, so you keep their offense off the field. Option play by Gardere. He will not have it, and again, it's 44 McCoy with the big hit.
He may have dropped that ball again.
Ball is fumbled, and they say Houston has recovered at the 18. That is 94 Trey Hooper, a senior from Mineral Wells, Texas, and the Longhorns with 2 turnovers early. Texas A&M played Houston off their feet until 8 turnovers finally did them in.
Well, I thought one of the keys to this game would be Texas is going to get the ball a lot. There's going to be a lot of possessions in this game, and Houston's going to get it a lot, but they can't turn the ball over and get them any extras. They need to punt the ball a few times. We haven't had one yet. 4 turnovers here in the first quarter.
Houston sets up shop at the Texas 18. Wendell Shelton whistles this one down.
Dead ball. Start. Offense. First down.
Gary, maybe the noise is giving Houston some problems.
And the pass rush, I think. You know, those linemen they're ready. They're on a hair trigger. They know that Klingler's already got some pressure on them.
Mike Edmonds, the Houston radio play-by-play man, said last year's game that Houston played at College Station was terribly loud, and that the Cougars had a lot of problems with their signals with the no-huddle. Klingler under pressure, throws it, has a man open, touchdown Houston. Manny Hazard.
Up on Richard right here. One of the things, look how he protects the ball very nicely with his back. He doesn't overrun the ball and reach back and give the defender a chance to knock it down. He shields him with his back and does a nice job of protecting the touchdown.
Roman Anderson with the extra point attempt, and he is good. So with 10 minutes, 47 seconds left to play in this opening quarter, and a little rocky start as far as turnovers by both clubs, and it is Houston who goes on the scoreboard first. Well, don't forget, tomorrow, noon Eastern time, Chris Berman and the guys with NFL Game Day. They will set you up on the day's happenings in the National Football League. And then after it's all said and done, tomorrow evening, they'll come back and put a period on it. Then tomorrow evening, 8 o'clock, it is the San Francisco 49ers in Dallas to take on the Cowboys. 8 o'clock Eastern Time. All of that tomorrow, right here on ESPN. By the way, that drive, Gary, took a total of 10 seconds.
Well, that's one way to get shorten that average of drive time when you get the ball on that 15-yard line, and especially when you look out there and you know it's man-to-man every time. You know you can just lob it to the end zone, and those are nice throws. You know, Klinger has a rocket for an arm, but he also has some very nice touch on his passes. He knows where to put it in a spot where just his guy can get it. He's already made 3 nice throws tonight.
Roman Anderson. This is going to come down to Samuels. Fumbles the ball. That is live, and Texas has recovered at the 15-yard line. I'm telling you, it's David McWilliams has got to be going absolutely crazy on the sideline.
The pass rush has done his job, but look at Klinger just backs up. Patton's going to put the rush on him, but he knows that he's got man-to-man coverage, and even backing up, Klinger can just lay the ball up because look at Hazard has man-to-man coverage. He comes up, he straightens up his guys, gives the post move, and Edwards, he's at mercy of the throw now, and nice screen on the underthrow a little bit by Hazard.
Looks him off, throws to Stephen Clark at the 21-yard line, and the tight end out of New Orleans has a gain of about 5 in the play. Eric Blunt is there defensively for the Cougars. See the numbers on Gardere. 101 completions for 1,331 yards. 5 touchdowns and now 5 interceptions.
And the most he's ever thrown in one game has been 1 interception. So that's very unlike him. He does not turn the ball over a lot.
Hadnot on the draw. Close to the first down. Going to depend on where they spot from the far side. McCoy is the man who made the stop, and that is a first down for the Longhorns.
Well, hopefully that will get them over the mark here. They have to run the ball inside. This is a very hurt defense. A lot of young players on this Houston defense, and they want to stop the run. They can make the passing game go with the run.
Hadnot with the carry, gets hemmed in, shakes off one tackler, and he'll take it out for a couple. And let's go down to the field. And Neil Lomax, just how loud is it down there?
Well, there's no question the noise is a big factor, not just for David Klinger and the receivers. As you can see, the offensive line in every series they've been off the ball because they can't hear David give the signals, and that's bad pass protection. As Gary mentioned, there's been a lot of pressure on the quarterback. Back upstairs to you, Ron.
9:18 left to play in this opening quarter. Houston 7-0. Gardere steps up, zips it long, and almost intercepted by Parks. It would have been his second, and it also would have been a touchdown if he holds on. There's nobody down the near side of the field.
Well, he had Keith Cash open, but he threw it too far to the inside. Peter Gardere right here, he has plenty of protection. He steps into the throw, but you'll see it. It goes behind his receiver right there, and Parks, oh, I'm sorry, Jerry, but that's why they put you on defense. The guys that catch at Houston play offense.
Good point. Third down. Texas needs the 35.5-yard line. Gardere over the middle, has it complete to Keith Cash, and that is enough for the Texas first down. The Cash twins present a really formidable problem for the opposition because both are former basketball players. They're about 6'5" and have great leaping ability.
And you will see how valuable they are as they get closer to the goal line, if they ever do tonight, because they will go up top and get the jump ball type fade throw.
Houston is there to diagnose that one. Burnett and Hooper combine on the stop at the 40-yard line. Texas trying to establish the running game, as Gary said, but so far Burnett, McCoy, and Hooper have had the answer.
There's a key player right there, Reggie Burnett. Larry Coyer, the defensive coordinator for Houston, said he's as good as there is in the Southwest Conference. He has a little bit of an ankle. We have to keep an eye on him tonight.
Looking for Walker. Has the catch at the 45-yard line. Hart makes the play, but Walker went about 3 feet in the air to bring that one down for 15.
All right, coming right at you here. Little play action pass. He's got man-to-man coverage. Gets him off the line. Gives him a fake and goes up the field. He's going to read the zone now. Comes right inside. Curls. The ball's thrown at perfect time. Nice job by Walker. Reaches up, catches it in his hands. Johnny Walker, big-time player. Really, really like this receiver.
Johnny is also an outstanding baseball player. Gardere on the short drop, has it complete, and that is Braylon Johnson. As Texas that time pulling a page out of the Houston book, Gary, on the short drop with the single coverage on the outside, trying to shake him loose after the reception.
One thing that Houston likes to do is to bring that strong safety. Gardere here reads it, and he's going to audible. The strong safety is just out of your picture up here at the top of the screen. You can't really see it, and when he audibles, you got to get out of the play.
Ninth play of the drive for the Longhorns, and they go running play with Samuels, breaks it out into the secondary, and inside the 15, Mouton saves the touchdown.
Lynn Amity believes that they have an advantage right here. They feel their offensive line, which averages a lot of yards, a lot of height and strength, can blow some holes for Samuels and Hadnot. And they get the blocking for each other. Hadnot threw a big block there for Samuels. That's key. Can they block for each other?
Samuels, 3 carries for 34 yards. Gets the handoff again, and the senior from San Antonio looked for the world. He was dead behind the line of scrimmage, and he'll pick up 4. Trey Hooper had the answer defensively, but it's going to be a gain of about 5 on the play.
Well, Samuels is so valuable coming out of the backfield as a receiver. Tonight, he looks like he's got his running shoes on. Credit the offensive line. They've got a weight advantage. They're about 30 pounds bigger than this Houston defensive line.
Adrian Walker, who's a sophomore out of Tyler Chapel Hill, checks into the ball game. He has 4 touchdowns of the year, 280 yards.
This is the time in the part of the field where the Cash brothers start to get involved. It's allowed.
Counterplay with Walker. Skims by 1 tackler and inside the 5 down to the 4. Jason Youngblood, the sophomore from Refugio, Texas, is there to make the stop. Stephen Clark comes back in at tight end. He will replace Johnny Walker. Walker's been troubled a bit by an ankle injury. They were not sure how much he would be able to go tonight. It looked as though it phased him on that 15-yarder a moment ago.
I don't think so.
Started on the 15, 11 plays on this drive by Texas. But they got a 3rd down and a very big one. Hadnot. He'll score.
Let's credit the offensive line here. Unbelievable movement they got. Smith, Boyd, tackle Stan Thomas. Before Hadnot even gets 2 yards into the end zone, he hasn't even been touched, and they just make an impressive drive to come back and tie this game up.
Michael Pollock with the extra point attempt, and with 5 minutes, 43 seconds left in the opening quarter, we are tied.
How do you...
Houston 7 and Texas 7. 5:43 left in this opening quarter. Michael Pollock, who has been a very pleasant surprise for the Texas Longhorns this year, prepares to kick it off. Tracy Good, who wears number 1. Tracy is a sophomore from Clute, Texas. Back is the deep man. Pollock's kick, 3 yards deep. He's going to return it. Markers 1, 2, and now 3 coming down at the 15-yard line as Good's teammates were signaling for him. Sanders saying, "Don't bring it out," and he decided he wanted to. flip against the Houston Cougars. Gary, one thing you have to say, though, about the Houston offense, down and distance really does not make a lot of difference to them.
I think as a defensive back, you just look behind you and see all that open territory and get more nervous. Here, one more look at this touchdown. The offensive line is going to get a push. Left guard, Dwayne Miller, 53, Todd Smith, Boyd, Thomas. They all push him right into the end zone. That's what you have to have on the 5-yard line. Adrian Walker, number 36, also gets had down into the end zone. Good play from the 5-yard line.
Houston is right in front of the Texas cheering section. Inside handoff, and Weatherspoon is devoured by James Patton. Oh, my goodness. Patton so far has truly been outstanding.
He has emerged as their best defensive lineman. Now, the idea here is to rush the passer and play the run on the go. You get some penetration and then look for the handoff on the way to the ball carrier. Penetration first is the key.
3 carries for Spoon, and Weatherspoon has a -1 so far. Klingler, shovel pass, incomplete. That's no fumble. Crowd always gets excited. The only thing is the closest guy to the shovel pass was an offensive tackle.
Well, they had Spoon over there, but look at Giles come into your face here. Klingler's going to roll to the left, and he sees it, and boy, does he get rid of it. There is, you're right, Ron. Spoon went the wrong way, and there was no one there but the offensive tackle.
3rd down. Texas has been extremely tough. Let's see if they can slow Houston down here. Again, pressure coming up the middle, and the ball is caught by Weatherspoon with blockers in front. Look out. He can run forever. Caught from behind at the 45-yard line of Texas. 50 yards in the play by Weatherspoon.
They go to the shovel pass again. This time the safety blitz is coming. Gunn is coming. And watch the shovel pass this time. Over the head of everybody. And uh-oh, the Tanks got it in the open field. Look at this guy run. 4'7", 4'8", 5'7", weighs 225 pounds. And the safety blitz Guns come back and makes the tackle on the play.
Klingler now 3 of 7. 1 touchdown, 114 yards. Incomplete. Tracy Good, the intended receiver. Shane Dronette, number 81, was the Texas player putting the pressure on quarterback David Klingler.
And you're right, the pressure is coming. That's the first time Texas has dropped in a zone tonight. But the most important thing is they're knocking Klingler down. That wears. It's like body punches in a boxer. It wears and it wears. It doesn't wear if you keep throwing touchdown passes, but if you have some success on it, it'll be a long night for David.
You just joined us. 4 minutes and 24 seconds left in the opening period. Texas 7 and Houston 7. Klingler again has a man open, and Brown can't hold on. Van Malone hit him, and for the world it looked like a completed pass, but not the case. Let's get an update on college football. Here's Tim Brando.
In case you missed it, fellas, Southern Mississippi beat Auburn today, and here's how they did it. Brett Farr, 10 yards to Anthony Harris with 46 seconds left. Southern Miss beats Auburn 13-12. They're the Alabama State champions. They beat Alabama earlier this year, Ron, and Southern Mississippi is apparently going to the Poland Weed Eater Independence Bowl. Auburn is looking ahead to Georgia next week.
So Auburn dropping back-to-back games. That doesn't happen too often. Houston on 3rd down. They're 2 of 4 tonight. Klingler, throwback screen, and the ball is fumbled, and Texas recovers at the 40.
Here's the ISO on Patrick Cooper. It's a quick screen to the sideline. Watch the play Van Malone makes. He gets inside Truitt, but the big hit right on the ball. It pops loose, and another turnover for this Texas team. That's what they have to do. Tommy Jeter gets the ball loose, and they've got it on a 40-yard line again. I look for him to push it between the tackles.
Ron Franklin, Gary Danielson from Memorial Stadium in Austin, Texas. Neil Lomax is down on the field helping us out with the sideline work tonight. Adrian Walker carries it for a couple to around the 42-yard line. Trey Hooper down on the bottom of that stack. He's a healthy one at 6 feet 270. I kidded him last night at the workout. I had his game for the Texas All-Star High School game up in Fort Worth, and I was visiting with him the day we got there talking with the players who would participate. He had just finished lunch, and he seemed in a hurry. And the reason he put his tray down and went through the line again. He said, "Yes, sir, that was me." Gardere flushes from the pocket, now goes long, and Keith Cash on the reception at the 33. Mouton made the tackle, and Mouton is pleading his case, saying that Keith Cash pushed off.
This time Houston's going to drop to the zone. Everybody's covered. Gardere takes his time. Now watch Cash down here at the bottom of your screen. He gives him the high signal, but he's covered. And the ball comes, though. He pushes off on Mouton, comes back, and gets the catch. Hey, you know, Ron, what I always say, if you get away with it, it counts.
Phil Brown, redshirt freshman from Commerce, checks in, gets the handoff, and he will be tripped up after a couple. That's a fine play by Eric Blunt. Phil Brown was a young man that you remember earlier this year, Gary, in the Colorado game. He came in and made a difference against the Colorado defense for the Texas Longhorns.
Well, the Longhorns have 4 backs that they can throw at you. Hadnot, Brown, Walker, and Samuels, and that's been the key. They've got a lot of diversity, a lot of weapons on offense.
Brown, the leading rusher, with 427 yards for the Horns. Option play, Gardere will turn it up. And he is fortunate to have picked up a couple as Muko is there. And let's go down to the field. Once again, here's Neil Lomax.
Well, another problem basically for the Texas defense is their conditioning. They'd love to have their offense stay on the field as much as they can, Ron and Gary, because defensive backs get awfully tired, like Stan the Sheriff Richards here. The trainer has had him take a lot of water and a lot of rest this week. He's in for a long evening if Trainer gets that ball.
Spanky Stevenson, the trainer, talked about their conditioning and what they would have to be prepared for tonight. I guess it is kind of like facing a marathon. Gardere on 3rd down has the man open. Walker, 1st and goal, Texas.
This time Gardere comes back. It throws it in timing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Drop back, shuffle up, throw the ball on time, and this Walker is a big-time speed receiver. Nice sharp break, reads the throw all the way. It's right on the numbers, and he almost gets into the end zone. What's the quarterback think about that? Oh, yeah, I like it. Oh, yeah, I'm down there. Let's push it in again.
Running play down to the 2, maybe the 2.5-yard line.
You know, the running game and the combination of the little play-action game, not only does it move the ball, it frustrates John Jacobs. He would even like, he wants turnovers or he wants to get the ball back even if they score. He believes in let me have that offense.
I asked him in Arkansas. Their offense had not scored a touchdown in the first quarter, and I asked him if he was getting a little frustrated. He said, yeah. Adrian Walker, touchdown Longhorns.
This time from the 2-yard line again, a little fake handoff to the right. Look at him get up, carried into the end zone. Let's give the credit again to the line. They're scoring, they're pushing. Todd Smith, the center, gets under his man, a little cross box. Dave Miller, number 53, comes around, and they just take it easy for Walker to dive in the end zone.
Michael Pollock makes it 24 of 24 this year. 1:08 left in the first. Horns by 7.
Good job. Good job.
ESPN's NFL Game Day. LT, is he still the behemoth of all the Giants defenders, or without a sack in over a month, is he a shadow of his former self? Football's newest behemoths on defense, the Miami Dolphins. Don Shula's 1990 version of the no-names is the biggest reason for the Dolphins' turnaround. Who are they? How do they do it? And Dallas's Troy Aikman. Will Sunday against the Niners be his breakout party? We'll ponder all of that at every game in Week 10 Sunday for a full hour at noon Eastern on Game Day.
14-7, Texas moves on top with 68 seconds left in this opening quarter. Pollock prepares to kick it off. Houston, with their one touchdown tonight, needed only 10 seconds following a Texas turnover. Pollock's kick, this one is going to come down 5 yards deep, and they will not return it as Cody Smith goes down in one knee. A couple of more looks at the Texas touchdown a moment ago.
Ron, nice combination block by the center, Todd Smith here, and Dwayne Miller. He sets, comes around, and leads Walker right into the end zone. Watch the combination block against the even front from Houston right here. Gets the ball, man goes out, man comes in. Walker gets enough head of a steam to dive into the end zone. Very, very nice job against an even front, meaning no one's head up on the center.
7 plays, 60 yards, just over 3 minutes. Adrian Walker gets the touchdown. Time of possession. Well, that's what Lynn Amity said they wanted.
And just as important, 14 points on the scoreboard.
Witherspoon is nailed at the line of scrimmage, and this time it's Tommy Jeter, the junior from Deer Park, Texas. Gary, now explain something to me. If you are a defensive player and all ball game long, no huddle, you know, what does it do to you?
Well, I don't think you're too upset by it. You know, the defensive backs might even like it. They don't have to go huddle up again. They know they're going to cover somebody. Just find your man and go play. The defense, they just want to rush the passer, play the run on the way to the passer.
Blitz coming up the middle. Houston picks it up, and Klingler lobs it, and he's got Hazard out there, overthrown at the 50.
You know, Ron, everybody says you have to pressure the quarterback, but unless you're willing to get up and take the short passes away from the quarterback, you can have the greatest pass rush in the world. The quarterback's just going to dump off 20 easy passes. You have to gamble a little bit and make him have a couple overthrows. Even though he's open, he has to hit a perfect pass under pressure.
John Jenkins had what I thought was a really interesting statement yesterday. We were talking about the offense. He said sometimes to help fatigue a defensive secondary that he will run a long route and then send in 4 fresh new receivers and come back with the very same
We
run.
will see that play tonight.
Klingler. He is going to turn it up at the 40 and steps out of bounds at the 45-yard line. I thought for a moment he was going to come to the sideline, but he had plenty of room, and Willie Mack Garza finally pushes him out of bounds. But it's a gain of 29.
Great play by Klingler here. Look, he wants to shovel past the number 28 to Spoon. He's going to roll out. Watch Spoon turn around. He's covered. So he's got to make something happen on his own. This guy just gets outside. A great athlete, David is. Not only can he throw the ball 70 yards like we saw last night, he can get out and hurt you. You know, the 2 big plays they've had coming out of their own zone have been the 2 shovel passes. One, he throws it over everybody's head, and this time he scrambles out. Both times, Texas had it pretty well defense.
21 seconds left in this opening quarter. Overthrown. Hazard is the man that he wanted, and let's go back down to Neil Lomax.
Well, one thing I failed to mention to you guys about the running shoot offense, it takes a long time to play. As you can tell, the Longhorn mascot, Bebo, the 1,500-pound steer, is taking a little breather right now, and you guys might not be able to take a nap in this game, but this big old steer, Ron and Gary, he's just kind of chilling out down here.
Well, the way he turned his head there was almost like I don't want to watch. While Houston has the football.
I think Bebo's seen the run and shoot in action before. He knows he's got to be here a while. Hey, but it's fun. It's fun, and they throw it. And the scoreboard's going to change.
Klingler, quick out pass to Hazard, and has the first down at the 41-yard line. Stanley Richard pushed him out of bounds. He was working against Van Malone, and he got by him, and then Stanley came over from that free safety spot.
All three receivers to the outside. You see it's a little pick. Number 1, Tracy Good comes in, and then Hazard just rubs off him to the outside. Oh, late hit. The Sheriff gets caught right there. He gets nabbed. That's going to add 15 yards onto it.
So Richard is flagged for the personal foul and the hit out of bounds, and now add 15 more onto it. So the Cougars picked up the first down, and now this will put it down inside the 28.
Look at the jam between this guy. This is why the coaches for the run and shoot like the small receivers. They have to avoid the jams by these defensive backs. He's going to get up on the line of scrimmage, and he has to get away from him. Good job right there, a little bit to the head.
Witherspoon up the middle, Brownette has him in the grasp. It's going to be a pickup of 2, and that will be the last play of this opening quarter. So there's a timeout. Longhorns 14 and the Cougars 7. Welcome back to Memorial Stadium in Austin, Texas. Ron Franklin, Gary Danielson, and Neil Lomax. Houston Cougars with a second down at the 25. Option play. Witherspoon going to be hit by Bo Robinson. As Texas has brought in a couple of new defensive ends, Bo Robinson and also number 87, Mark Steed.
You know, sometimes when you watch this passing game, the run and shoot, you think it's touch football. Guarantee you, when Witherspoon gets the ball, it's no longer touch football. The option down the line, and watch him turn it up, and here comes the hitting. Jones and Robinson play the option and try to contain Witherspoon the best they can. I'd like to see him keep him under 100 yards rushing.
Keep an eye on the man to the short side of the field. Brown is the speedster, and they got the isolation because of the trips. Klingler intercepted in the end zone by Lance Gunn.
Houston here tries to run a pick play. These two guys are going to come inside. Tracy Good's going to try to come out in the flat. Now watch how nicely Texas plays it right here. They come inside. He breaks out. No, he's covered. Now Klingler tries to make something happen, and he gets a little too greedy. Gunn's reading his eyes, and he comes over there and gets the easy INT.
That's 4 turnovers for the Houston Cougars. 2 interceptions and 2 fumbles. The Longhorns have also had turnover problems. They have put it on the ground a couple of times. Interception and a fumble. Gardere going to go long, looking for Keith Cash inside the 40.
Hey, I don't blame you, Keith Cash. You are big time. I'll tell you, Gardere comes out this time, rolls out of the pocket, and throws a nice one on the run. Stay with it, keep your head on it, reach out, and run through the ball and cradle it in. He beats Jamie Moon. You know, I mean, that's as good as you can throw the ball. He hits him right in stride, and you got a 6'4" receiver to gobble it up.
Samuels on the pitch. Spins off the tackler, pushed out of bounds at the 31-yard line.
I think the surprise of the offense so far for Texas has been Samuels. You know, you look at him coming out of the backfield to catch passes, but tonight he's given them what they need coming out and running the ball, and he's a threat to catch the ball also. A real valuable player tonight.
Chris, a senior out of San Antonio. And Gary, sometimes that senior leadership pays off.
You're no doubt about it.
5 carries for 45 yards for him tonight. The first down at the 25, and the storyline in this one so far. Houston 4 turnovers, the first 5 possessions. Texas, 2 TD drives, took over 8 minutes. Gardere, 7 of 10, 130 yards. He's off to a blazing start. Klingler, 5 of 14, 130 yards, 1 touchdown. Short drop, pass to Walker. Tries to get by Mouton, and it is another Texas first down, this one at the 14-yard line.
Man-to-man coverage, Gardere reads it, calls a little hitch pass, easy, pitch and catch, comes out, Walker's got the speed. Look, they're 10 yards off here. That's just too easy. Touches it, faces him up, gives him a little shake and bake, goes to the outside, picks up the first down.
Samuels gets to the outside. He is out of bounds at the 2.
Chris Samuels is having himself a game tonight. Get the win, big guy. Go for it. Play. Takes it. Watch him bounce. He reads. He's looking for anybody. Run to the outside. And he's going to run. Stan Thomas again. The right tackle had a big block, number 51, and he's down to the 1-yard line again.
First and goal, Texas. Samuels now with 6 carries as the Longhorns go to a straight T in the backfield. Samuels in the carry, hit in the backfield, and knocked out of bounds by McCoy at the 2-yard line. Now they're going to say the 1. Also, Burnett was out there defensively. And now a flag comes down late after the play is over.
Gently over the face, bring it down. Good. Relax it. Turn to the one side. Also
at the half-yard mark.
Ron, you've seen Samuels a lot over his career. He is really running the ball tonight and keeping his feet going. Looks like he's really ready to play tonight.
Extremely good back.
Rushing yards for Houston, that's not the idea. It's just that Texas needed to gain some yards rushing the ball.
Oh, so the down will be second.
Wendell Shelton, and I'll tell you what, I admire what he did right there. We all know about a situation earlier this year between Colorado and Missouri, and those officials doing a good job of making sure everybody knows. Had not. Touchdown, Texas.
They're going to run off the right side again behind number 51, Stan Thomas, number 58, Jeff Boyd, but had not. You know, he's just a true freshman, but he's a big one, and he's got the power. And, you know, right away, I mean, 21 points, and we've got a fair amount of this second quarter to play right here. Very, very impressive for this Texas offense now.
Pollock knocks it through, and the Longhorns go on top by a score of 21-7. Next week, right here on ESPN. It all begins with College Game Day. Chris Fowler, Lee Corso, and Charlene Hawks. That's at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Our first game at 12:30 Eastern Time. Minnesota at 19 Michigan. Michigan with a big win today. And this is where Gary and I will be in South Bend for Penn State at Notre Dame. 4 Eastern Time. And then the night game next week is Georgia at Auburn. The Tigers upset today by Southern Mississippi.
Let's talk a little bit about Peter Gardere. He started off with the interception, you know, and he started off last week slow. He was 0 for 6, but right now he's 8 for 11, 143 yards. Gardere is a winner, but this guy right here, Klingler, it's just an opportunity now for him to throw for a lot of yards. He's behind. We're going to see yards and yards and yards if he has some time.
Not only only are they sold out in the stands here in Austin, but there are folding chairs in both end zones. There you can get a good shot, and I don't know what in the world you can see down there, but those people paid their money and wanted to come in and see this football game tonight.
And you could say you were here.
I guess so. This is good from the 3. Good gets nailed as he crosses the 15, and that is Higgins on the special team.
Another look, the right side of the line. All the linemen are going to try to score. Push inside a little bit, but Hadnot actually runs through a tackle to get through the end zone. Nice push, you know, from this side. The size difference at the Texas offensive line is just too much. He runs through no tackle by number 26, and he gets into the end zone, and it's 21-7. Butch Hadnot.
7 plays, 80 yards. 1 minute and 27 seconds consumed. Shovel pass to Weatherspoon, and he's got some running room at the 30 to the 35, and Stanley Richard comes to make the stop. Let's go back to Tim Brando. Come in, sir.
Ron, in many respects, Scott Sisson was the GOAT. In fact, he missed 4 field goals today for Georgia Tech, but when they needed one with 8 seconds left against the Hokies of Virginia Tech, he booted it through. 6-3, Georgia Tech still headed to the Citrus with no losses, but one very crucial tie to North Carolina that puts them out of the national championship picture. Or does it?
I don't think anybody's out of it anymore, do you?
I don't think so. That's been the conversation about no real dominant team this year. Klingler throws it back. That's complete to Hazard, and what an open field hit by Stanley Richard.
Whoa.
And Hazard with the very good gesture there, patting him on the back, saying that's a good play. Richard is the one who made that hit against Bieniemy in the Colorado game at the goal line, and we marveled that Bieniemy got up.
Yeah, he's just such an impressive player. He plays free safety against the option teams and plays from sideline to sideline making tackles. And here he's matched up man-to-man all over the field, and you see what type of a hitter he is. The best free safety I've seen in college football this year.
Weatherspoon takes it across the 40 to the 41. Tommy Jeter is there defensively, and now the Cougars look at a 3rd down situation. And Gary, they need the 46.
3rd and 5, 1st and 5, they don't really care. They're just going to call the same plays. I think what Texas is doing is so smart, right now. They're just playing points. They're not really involved in getting involved in how many yards they're getting. The only thing that matters is the scoreboard. Houston is going to put some yards on. They just got to keep them out of the end zone.
Speaking of yards, that's what it looks like right now in total yards. But, folks, we got a lot of playing time left. Wilson pressuring, and Klingler not only has the first down, but has 10 and 15 yards more before Brian Jones decks him inside the 40. And for people who try to say that maybe Klingler doesn't have the mobility that Andre Ware had, I don't know. He's run the ball pretty doggone well.
I'd like to take a look at Andre Ware again, because if he doesn't have the mobility, I don't know what you had. He looked like about a 4-6 sprinter right there. That's the 3rd big play David has made on his own. He wanted to throw a little quick screen back. Nothing with it was there, just like the shovel passes where one he looped it over everybody, and the other time he scrambled. He's been doing it.
One thing also about the run and shoot, just like in the pros, your defense is set to cover 10 guys, but not that person.
Oh, yeah.
And that's one of the reasons, and Klingler has taken advantage of the situation well tonight. Weatherspoon, the intended receiver, and I think he just popped that one in the ground close enough to him so it wouldn't be grounding. But there were a lot of orange jerseys all around Weatherspoon.
Well, David is going to keep attacking. You've got 3 downs. You're looking for the goal line every time. There you see John Jenkins. Even though they don't huddle, they get on the line of scrimmage. John still calls the plays, and he just wants to keep that pressure, that mental pressure on the defense that so wears you as the game goes on.
Gary, how tough is it for the defense to get their signals called without the quarterback seeing what the defense is calling?
Well, when David is looking to the sideline, they have an opportunity. There you see a little bit of a mix-up. The crowd is a factor. Neil is right. It is very difficult offensively to do it. Defensively, Brian Jones watched film with us yesterday, and he said that both the secondary and the linebackers were going to take signals.
ESPN's College Football Saturday, Houston versus Texas, is brought to you by Jeep. There's only one Jeep. And by Michelob Dry Beer. Once you experience the full taste with no aftertaste, there's no going back. 10:52 remaining until halftime. Play. Weatherspoon turns the corner, cuts it back nicely at the 25 and down to the 20-yard line. Brian Jones had the corralling, and that will be a first down for Houston.
Ron, the reason the option is so effective is the defensive backs are playing man-to-man coverage. They have their back turned to the offense. So if the defensive end can't make the play, you're into space. Weatherspoon's running the ball, and nobody knows he's got it.
That's right. A lot of times against an offense like this, you'll see linebackers and defensive backs with their back to the running back, and he's already broken.
He's running.
Klingler. And he just throws this one away. That's about 5 yards out of the back of the end zone. John Brown III was the closest man to it. Tommy Jeter was putting pressure on Klingler.
David has the big arm. He can do that. He's backing out. You know, he throws the ball about 40 yards in the air and gets it out of bounds and gets to tee it up again, 2nd and 10. Just the mental pressure on the defensive backs, though. They're chasing these guys all around the end zone, and Klingler just throws it out of bounds, and he's real relaxed, but all 5 defensive backs for Texas have their heart in their mouth all the play.
3 minutes on this drive. This is the longest drive of the evening for Houston. Klingler drills it incomplete, and a flag comes down. Manny Hazard is the man he wanted, and Stanley Richard was covering against him.
This call right here. Manny Hazard was going to run the same route that he ran for the touchdown before. He comes in, runs a little fake to the post, and breaks out. And there's Richards going to contact him right there. You don't know how much farther Hazard would be able to get for that ball and jump up. That's a real judgment call right there. I know, as a quarterback, I'd be upset with that call.
Quarterbacks always were upset. 3rd down. Weatherspoon on 3rd and 10, hit behind the line of scrimmage by Anthony Curl.
Anthony Curl's job right then is to spy the fullback. He just looks at Spoon. If he gets it, if the quarterback doesn't pass the Spoon, he's going to make the tackle. Nice job by Anthony Curl. You know, Anthony's only 205 pounds, but he does a good job playing linebacker at such a small size.
Roman Anderson, his father, Billy Guy, quarterback for the University of Tulsa, also played for the Rams. And Anderson is good from 38 yards. So with 9 minutes and 35 seconds showing on the clock here at Memorial Stadium until halftime, it is 21-10.
Ron, this is the first game I've covered from Run and Shoot. You watch it a little bit on television, but when you're up here, you really see the tension and the anxiety it creates for a defense. I mean, there's a lot of space for this offense to work in it. You can see why these defensive coordinators, when we met with him on Thursday, Leon Fuller, he was just, oh boy, he looked like he'd had 2 months of looking at this stuff.
Looked like he needed to start drinking decaf. Well, NFL Game Day tomorrow, noon Eastern time, and in the NFL prime time, coming along at 7 o'clock Eastern tomorrow evening. And speaking of tomorrow evening, ESPN's NFL game, the 49ers at Dallas. That is at 8 Eastern Time. Mike Patrick and Joe Theismann will be up in Big D. Roman is named. I mentioned that his dad had played for the Rams. He is named after Roman Gabriel. Line drive kick taken by Walker at the 3. 36 to the 37-yard line, and Anderson made the tackle.
When we talked to defensive coordinator Larry Coyer last night, he said this Houston defense, no matter what it takes, if it takes putting 8 guys up on the line of scrimmage, they have to stop the running game. They want to force Peter Gardere into a throwing game. So far, Texas has been successful in running the ball. Let's see how they adjust to try to stop the running game.
Phil Brown fights his way forward for 1, maybe 2. John W. Brown out of the secondary comes up to make the hit. John is a freshman from Amarillo, Texas. In fact, a couple of guys on that side of the field defensively, John W. Brown and Daniel Johnson, both from Amarillo and played at Paladura High School. Is complete. McCoy on the hit, and that is enough for the Texas first down.
One of the turning points in this game so far happened in the first quarter. Klingler is going to roll out, and he's going to hit Manny Hazard on kind of a busted play here. Hazard turns up the sideline. The lob pass, he goes up. Let's make sure he's got it. Yes, he's got it in his arm. His foot comes in. It's called no touchdown. A turnover occurs a couple plays later, and Texas survives without any points on the scoreboard. Big play so far.
Reverse to Keith Cash. And defensively, the Cougars are right there to knock him down. Muko is the man with containment who came up to make the hit, and then John W. Brown was there to make the stop. But that's going to be a loss of 5. It'll be 2nd down and 15, Texas.
Lynn Amity said they were going to run the reverse tonight, and even if it didn't get big yards, he had to run it to keep the running game honest, to keep those backside people playing honest so that they could run the ball between the tackles. I don't think he wanted to lose 5 yards.
I don't think so. Johnny Walker, good open field hit. Reggie Burnett is right there to make the stop at the 49-yard line. Bevel was putting pressure on, excuse me, Garrett. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 11.
James Bevel puts a little pressure on Peter Gardere, but Walker's going to come out. He's going to delay a little bit, let his receivers clear. It's a zone route, though. Reggie Barnett is just going to stay there. Uh-oh, turn around, and you got about a 6'4" linebacker coming right at you. It's a completion, but nothing to write home to Mom about.
Pete Gardere, 10 of 13, 157 yards. Houston comes with a blitz. Gardere wants to run it, and he will be tackled at the line of scrimmage by Muko.
Well, that's going to make this Cougar defense proud. They finally got a stop. We're going to see a punt. They had good coverage in the secondary, and Peter had nothing to do but to just take the sack right there. Good job by Muko.
First punt by Texas tonight, Alex Waits. He is a senior from Plano. He's a left footer. Into we're in. Parks from the 12. And he will take it to the 22-yard line. So there's a timeout on the field. 6:36 left until halftime. We'll be right back.
Enemy on the open. Moving up on your right, Bravo 2.
I'm 30 miles from the action, but I'm responsible for a digital communication link between headquarters and brigade.
Heavy text, checkpoint 1.
If the data isn't programmed right, 5,000 troops could be cut off.
Enemy forces together.
But I'd never let that happen to my brigade.
Op 4 is eliminated.
You did it, sir.
Outstanding.
Texas 21-10 with just over 6.5 minutes left until halftime. U.S. Army Student Athlete of the Game is brought to you by the U.S. Army. Learn how to get an edge on life. Be all you can be. And our Student Athlete of the Game is Stephen Clark, the University of Texas, a senior tight end with a GPA of 3.0 in finance. He is out of New Orleans, Louisiana. Throws the up and has it tipped away. That's Stanley Richard who got a hand on it. Hazard was breaking free at the sideline, and Richard just went parallel to the ground and got it.
One of the problems so far for this Houston offense has been the protection. Now they're going to go to a little bit of a quieter drop here, just at 3 steps. 1, 2, 3. He's going to look for the pick pass, a little fake. He keeps rolling, and nice touch on this throw. But what, Richard? Watch him right there. Hand out there, stretched out. Nice job, Stanley. Running, running, running. Keep going. No interference. Just run through the ball. What an athlete.
And he will go down as he turned and saw Tommy Jeter coming right in his face, and rather than take the vicious open field hit, he just went down.
All night, the pass rush has been the problem so far. Klingler rolls right. He's going to try to come back. It's the shovel pass again, and it was red this time again. And here comes Jeter. David, get down. You got plenty of passes to throw tonight. You got a guy that's 6'5", 263. Tommy coming right at you, looking right at you. I know he's not grinning when he's coming in there.
Third down, and the Cougars need their own 32-yard line. And he is going to go long, overthrown. Had a man out there, but overthrew it. Marcus Grant had broken free. And a standing ovation from the Texas partisans for the defense.
You know, Ron, you're right. He was open, but open by a yard, 45 yards down the field is still not poor coverage. If you're going to force a guy to throw the ball, he has to throw a perfect one. I like what they're doing so far. John Jenkins has to regroup. He's going to have to get the ball off quicker so far.
Texas special teams with 5 block kicks this season. 2 punts, 3 field goals. Booming spiral. Boy, Samuels all the way back to the 30-yard line. So let's take a break. Texas by 11.
Tips off when top teams battle in the Dodge NIT. Tournament action begins Wednesday night at 7:30 Eastern, live on ESPN.
The Dodge NIT. Don't miss it. It begins here on ESPN on Wednesday. You like the hoops, I know.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited to see it get started.
Sit down on the couch, watch the coaches and the action. And this time I even know some of the people doing the broadcast. I'll be even talk about you.
Gardner with an audible at the line of scrimmage. Dumps it out. That's Hadnot. And he will take it across the 42 to the 43. John W. Brown is there to make the hit.
For this young Houston defense, you know, they're starting 4 freshmen, true freshmen out on this team, this defense tonight. Is starting to hold up. They found their field so far, and they're starting to play a little bit more zone. They're not blitzing every play, and they're starting to give the Texas offense a few problems.
Breaks it again, and he is inside the 40. Jamie Mouton finally put the stopper on it.
Just a freshman. This guy was playing high school football last year. Butch Hadnot. Watch him. It's the sprint off tackle. He reads the hole. The blockers take him anywhere, but look at those legs. Oh, runs right through a guy. Keep the legs moving. Whoa, this guy's going to be here for 3 more years.
This is Chris Samuels. Takes it inside the 35, down to around the 32. Reggie Burnett at the bottom of the stack.
When we talked to Larry Coyer, defensive coordinator for Houston last night, he said one of the problems is in practice, they don't have a tight end. They don't run the ball, the Houston offense. So they don't see a type of offense like this day in and day out. It is very difficult for this team to prepare for different offenses, just like the Texas defense has to prepare for this run and shoot. It's just balanced on both sides, and there you see what the results so far.
Hit at the line of scrimmage, maybe has a yard. That's Eric Blunt, who came up to make the hit on him, the strong side linebacker. And now the Longhorns with a 3rd down. And let's see here, they need about 5. A lot of sophomore out of Memphis, Tennessee.
Blunt made a nice play there. He read the handoff, came in behind the blocking, and attacked the hole and got him in the backfield.
Here you're kind of in a tweener zone here with the 3rd down and 5, maybe just a little bit more. Good play.
But the nice thing is they can throw or run. I think you'll see some type of a short pass here to one of the guys crossing.
Gardere. Samuels can't hold on at the 22-yard line.
Got the matchup they wanted. Their option back, Samuels. He lined up as a wide receiver. Man-on-man coverage. He just comes out. Gardere's going to go back in the pocket. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He realizes it's man-to-man. He knows he's got Samuels, makes the throw, puts it just a little high, but I know Samuels thinks he can catch those all night.
Michael Pollock to attempt the field goal, and this is going to be an attempt of 48 yards. His longest is 47, and that was in that Colorado game, which we did earlier this year here in Austin. And Houston has called a timeout. So there's a timeout. Let's take it with him.
Pretty darn young.
21-10 our score with 3:15 left until halftime. Houston had called a timeout just before Klingler attempted the 48-yarder. If he hits it, it would be a career long. No good. To the right and short. Maybe tried to juice it up just a little bit too much. He's 15 of 18 now in the year, so it's 21-10 with 3:10 left until halftime. Who is number 1? We have talked about, is there a dominant team this year? You give us the answer. There's the 900 number to call, 900-786-2255. Don't forget, it cost you 95 cents, but call the number and give a vote. Either Notre Dame, Colorado, Houston, Washington, Miami. Who is the number 1 team in the land? Klingler zips it over the middle, incomplete, and that ball, after was tipped, Lance Gunn had to go right through his hands. Here's the scoring summary. First quarter, Manny Hazard in the 23-yard pass from Klingler, then Hadnot with the 5-yard run, and we were tied at 7. Then Adrian Walker, a 2-yard burst over the top, 14-7 Texas. Then the Horns made it 21-7. Hadnot with a 1-yard run. Then Roman Anderson with the 38-yard field goal, 21-10, and that's how we stand right now with 3:05 left until halftime. Klingler 7 of 22, 2 touchdowns, 151 yards. He has missed 6 in a row, Gary. Breaks the drought, has it complete. They step out of bounds immediately. Garza comes over to push Verlin Brown out of bounds. Verlin, only a junior from Forest City, Arkansas.
This time the Texas defense played a little soft man-to-man that time. They gave him the look of bump and run. They backed off. They gave him the short pass. You just can't give this team too many short passes, though, because they'll just back you right into the end zone.
Well, he stopped the clock. They've run 2 plays and only used 10 seconds. Movement at the line of scrimmage, and you can see Tommy Jeter swing around in frustration for himself because he might have just given Houston a first down if he made contact.
Well, Leroy Truitt also moved. I think it was in response to Jeter.
If the defensive man moves first and then the offense, then you offset. But if contact is made,
offside, defense. The distance will make it a first down.
There's the first down.
So far tonight, there you see how David is throwing the ball. He's 5 for 7 under 9 yards, but look at how it goes down dramatically. The reason is they've got a man on everybody. They're chasing him around. They're making David throw the perfect pass.
First down, Houston from the 41. It is incomplete. And let's go back down to Neil Lomax and get an update. Neil?
Well, down here at Run and Shoot Central, I'll give you an update. Leon Fuller is so excited, Gary and Ron, about the defensive backs, the way they're playing. Update on Mark Berry, slightly separated shoulder. He went in the locker room. Don't know if he'll play the second half. But the defensive backs feel they got this one won with them shutting them down only for 7 points in the first half. Ron and Gary?
Well, I'm sure they feel good right now. But I was about to say, this drive right here, I think, is a real big momentum situation.
Going into halftime, if they could get a stop right here, they would feel really good.
On the other hand, if Houston scores, it's huge as far as momentum to be.
I think they might have got a delay. Well, they had to take the timeout to avoid the delay of game there.
So Houston calls a timeout. The clock shows 2 minutes and 53 seconds left until halftime, as Klingler goes over to visit with John Jenkins, the first-year head coach for the Houston Cougars.
We had a great visit with John last night. I mean, this guy, he just puts everything in his life into his football team. He believes in the run and shoot. He's up every morning at 5 o'clock. He has quarterback meetings at 6:45. And his team is dedicated to this offense now, and that's really it. They believe in it. They've committed to it. And, of course, you know, they've had such a great success. He told us yesterday that they don't even run in practice. They'll just throw maybe 250 straight passing plays and just rep. Very much like the wishbone teams used to run the wishbone play over and over again. Doesn't matter what the defense plays. They just have to do their job.
You know, speaking of wishbone, David Klingler was a wishbone quarterback in high school. And, in fact, in one game this year, threw more passes than he did his entire senior year in high school.
Well, now I see why he has such a strong arm. He saved himself. You know, he just kept it until he got to college. The guy last night, Ron, was throwing rockets, 70 yards. He didn't even put any air under it. He's got as strong as arm as anyone I've ever seen.
But right now, what he needs to up is percentage. Gardere throwing a high percentage. Klingler, 8 of 23. Pressured out of the pocket and throws it incomplete. Shane Dronette was in very hot pursuit, and that's going to make it a third down situation.
Ron, this is the game plan that Texas is using tonight. They're going to line up 10 people near the ball. Now look at back here. This is what the quarterback falls in love with. All this space out here. That's where he wants to throw the ball. And when the ball is snapped, those guys are playing man-to-man coverage. But look, they're press bailing. They're latching on. Everybody's got a man down the sideline, and the pressure helps them.
Third down. Houston needs the Texas 49-yard line. Throwback screen, and Willie Mack Garza is right there to make the stop at the line of scrimmage. That is a great defensive play.
Came back with the throwback screen. The reason they're throwing so many of these screens is because of the pressure. And a nice job here. Also want to point out number 81, Shane Dronette here. He makes David lob the ball. Watch Dronette jump. And that gives time for Willie Mack to come up and beat the lineman out there because the ball can't get there just as fast as he wanted it to. Nice job by Shane Dronette reading that screen and jumping up.
Langston only his second punt. His first one good for 56, which, by the way, is his longest of the year. Chris Samuels. tries to cut back inside, and he'll bring it to the 27. So the Longhorns will take it over with 1:48 left, and this is what we have next week. CFA Game Day at 11:30 a.m. with Chris Fowler and Mr. Corso and Ms. Hawks. And then after that, it's going to be Minnesota at Michigan. That's at 12:30 Eastern. Followed by Penn State at Notre Dame. Gary and I will be in South Bend for that one. 4 o'clock start. And then the night game, the third of the triple header, Georgia at Auburn. Old rivalry in the Southeastern Conference. Adrian Walker gets the pitch, turns the corner, steps out of bounds, and they're going to mark him out at the 34. Daniel Johnson is there defensively.
2 goals right now Texas should have offensively. Number 1 goal is to take 1:42 off this clock. They don't want to give Houston the ball back. 21-10, they go in, they have a mini celebration at halftime. Goal number 2, if they get it to the 50-yard line, then they start thinking 3 points. Let's not get greedy until we get in a position to score. Number 1 goal, remember, 1:42. Let's go into halftime 21-10.
The point that Mr. Danielson is making is with the kind of offense and the home run hitters, it just doesn't take very long. Peter Gardere with an audible. As you can see, Texas moving around.
Throw the quick hitch out to the receiver.
Wasn't there. Now going to run it wide open is Keith Cash.
Doesn't come any better than this. You check off to a quick hitch, they take it away from you, misread it, nobody to throw to, and one of your receivers runs a hitch and go. Nice play by Keith Cash. Get you 10 yards in the open. You can't even get any nicer than that. Now you're trying to run out the clock. You might put 7 more points on the board.
Keith Cash, 4 catches, 138 yards. Adrian Walker gets the block, turns it inside, touchdown Texas. Extra point by Pollock is good as Smoky sounds, and with 1:13 left until halftime, it is the Texas Longhorns 28 and Houston 10.
Right now, Phil Gardere reads that they've got 9 guys up in the box here. He's going to audible, but when he comes out, the men here drop into zones, and he gets away with calling a bad audible, but he stays with it. Good job here. 1, 2, 3. He wants to throw the hitch. It's zone. He misreads it, but a nice senior job by Keith Cash. He breaks it off, and he's down there for the big one. You know, you're thinking, let's run out the clock, let's not turn it over, and all of a sudden you got 7 points on the scoreboard. The touchdown play here. Little pitch action. Watch Hadnot, number 40. He's going to track, and he gets a block. And he runs it, pushes off into the end zone for Walker. 7 points the hard way.
Adrian Walker with his 6th touchdown of the year. He's a sophomore from Tyler, Texas. Home of another gentleman who was a very decent University of Texas Longhorn, the Tyler Rose, Earl Campbell.
Well, I'm very impressed with Butch Hadnot. I mean, he's as good as freshman running back as there is in the country. There's no doubt about that. But he's got some big shoes to fill with the Tyler Rose. Well, that guy is in a class by himself.
Good, fumbles the ball. That is alive. He's going to have to pick it up. And Good will be down at the 4-yard line. Bubba Moffitt there on the special teams. Coming up at halftime, the USF&G halftime report with Tim Brando and Lee Corso. Scores, also the bowl outlook, and who is number one. And also a live interview with Don Myers of the Fiesta Bowl.
Hey, Ron, you know, we're going to test John Jenkins out. He said down and distance and time doesn't mean anything. Well, now there's 1:07 to go, and he's got the ball at his own 5-yard line. Let's see if he goes in at halftime and regroups or tries to fire from the 5 and put 7 points on the board. I think he's going to fire from the 5, don't you?
They really, wherever they are in the field, whether it's your 5 or their 5.
Texas giving them the same look.
Klingler, overthrow.
From the near side of your screen right here, number 45 Robinson's going to get a run at him. Klingler just gets rid of it, but boy, he couldn't have hold on to it 1 step longer, or he'd had a safety right there. That's the pressure that you can get if you're aggressive in the secondary. But remember, you don't have man-to-man cover, guys. You can't play this type of defense.
David McWilliams nervously looking on. Draw play to Witherspoon. Anthony Curl will knock him down as he crosses the 10. And now for Houston, it's going to be a 3rd down, and they need about 3.
This would be the situation against a normal team when you might consider taking a timeout of your Texas and getting the ball back. But I don't think we're going to see any timeouts by the Texas defense.
Wonder what that signal is. You think maybe John is saying, let's get rid of the clock and go in at halftime and regroup?
Well, I would be throwing deep right here. It's a long way to go. You got a lot of field. Let it go.
Quick pass, incomplete. And now a punting situation for Houston with 21 ticks left on the clock.
Texas now will have an opportunity to kick a field goal. There's enough time. If they catch the ball around the 50 or 40-yard line, 1 completion, they still have plenty of timeouts left.
Langston averaging 46.5 yards per boot. Another booming spiral. Samuels from the 43. Goes down at the 47, and now there are 10 seconds left until halftime. So that time Langston did his job and did it very well to keep the Longhorns on their side of the 50-yard line with so little time left.
I know as a fan, most of the people now are thinking about go grabbing a hot dog or something, but as a quarterback, you look at 10 seconds, you say, well, I got a free throw here. I'm going to throw something around the 30-yard line. Maybe he busts a tackle. Maybe we get an opportunity to kick a field goal. As a quarterback, you're always attacking. You always think this is a chance to throw the football.
Gardere will go down on one knee, and David McWilliams says, let's don't take a chance. Clock runs down, and as they head to the locker room, it is Texas 28 and Houston 10. John Jenkins leading his troops off the field.
Ron, we thought the key to this game was, could the front four for Texas be able to put some pressure on David? They've done it so far.
Let's go down to Neil Lomax with head coach David McWilliams.
Well, Coach, pretty successful first half. Anything different you did defensively at practice to make you guys play this well?
No, really, we're doing the same thing we did all week, all year, really. We just adjusted to the run and shoot, but you know, we're getting good pressure up front and doing a pretty good job on Witherspoon. He still broke some big ones on us, but playing well, but we know we got another half going, and they're an explosive football team.
What can you say in the second half to get these guys pumped up?
I don't think I have to say anything.
Jeez. Okay, have a good one in the second half. I'm going to go in the Houston locker room, Gary and Ron, and get their report after halftime. Back upstairs to you guys.
Okay, Neil, we'll look for that report. Let's take a break. Texas 28 and Houston 10.
Tim Brando back in our studios for the USF&G halftime report. We welcome you, and we're going to get right to it. A lot to cover. A live interview with Don Myers of the Fiesta Bowl and a roundtable discussion on who's number one. Notre Dame and Tennessee, there's no doubt about who's number one for this week. The Fighting Irish in a big game get it done. Rocket Ismail with one huge run. That's the difference in the game in the fourth quarter, 34-29. By the way, this is the anniversary of Newt Rockney's win one for the Gipper speech. It happened 62 years ago to the day. UCLA and Washington and a shocker played earlier today. The Bruins getting it done, and Brunel had all kinds of problems. With the game tied in the fourth quarter, Brunel is picked off by Eric Turner, setting up Brad Delwiso for the game winner from 43 yards out. It is good. UCLA comes away with the victory, 25-22, so the Huskies will drop out of the national championship picture. Oregon and California, another reason why bowls should not make decisions this early. Oregon is going to the Freedom Bowl, and they get buried by Cal. First winning season since '82 for the Golden Bears. USC and Oregon State playing, go 49-7. The Trojans rolling against the Beavers in that ball game. Arizona State and Washington State, 51-26 the final. Larry Marmee's club making a push. Paul Justin, 19 of 25, 379 yards. Stanford and Arizona, 7-0 game in the first quarter. Oh, by the way, Arizona is headed to a bowl as well. Big Ten action we want to talk to you about now. 27-26, Ohio State knocks off Iowa, but the Hawkeyes still in the catbird seat for the Rose Bowl. Illinois, Michigan. The Illini blowing an opportunity to make a move because of the loss by Iowa. Michigan beats them today, 22-17. Michigan State and Minnesota, 28-16. Spartans looking good down the stretch. Minnesota also still with an outside shot, though, for the Rose. Indiana and Wisconsin. Von Dunbar, 161 yards rushing in the game. It could be a Peach Bowl coming up for the Hoosiers. Purdue and Northwestern, 33-13. Purdue losing 6 straight, snapping that streak today. Eric Hunter with a couple of touchdown runs in that ball game. And the standings in the Big Ten look this way. Iowa still controls its own destiny, but the Buckeyes are sitting pretty with a chance to get to Pasadena on New Year's Day. And it still could happen for any of those other teams with 2 losses. The Rose Bowl will have Washington taking on the Big Ten winner. The bad news for our friends at ABC, it will not again have any bearing on the national championship picture. Stay with us. The USF&G Insurance Halftime Report continues as we take you to break. Look at these scores. Wabash today loses to DePaul in the oldest rivalry west of the Allegheny, and Pittsburgh State's string of 55 regular season victories rolls on against Missouri South.
A little brains, a little luck, and a lot of late nights. A good family, a good spot, and some good advice. That's the way it's supposed to be. And USF&G is standing behind me. That's the way it's supposed to be. And USF&G is standing behind me.
Are entering a whole new era, a decade of positive change. Around the world, organizations have realized that you cannot intimidate human beings into productivity. The key is to let people do what they do best, whatever way works best for them. At the same time, fundamental principles of mass production give ordinary people access to powerful technology. That which was affordable to the few becomes available to the many. Mass production becomes mass productivity. The Industrial Revolution meets the Age of Enlightenment. The walls have come down. Opportunity has gone up. And your only limits will be the size of your ideas and the degree of your dedication. People, this is an exciting time to be alive.
This
This USF&G Halftime Report is brought to you by USF&G Insurance, protecting your business, home, auto, and life. USF&G, standing behind the USA.
We welcome you back. Southern Miss has done something they've never done in the same season, beat Alabama and Auburn, and it appears that they will go to the Independence Bowl, and Auburn will be in a much better bowl, and so too will Alabama, making a much bigger payoff. 13-12 the final. Brant Farr to Anthony Harris with 46 seconds left the key. Georgia and Florida, the old cocktail party, ends 38-7 today for the Gators. Terrence Barber, a 51-yard touchdown catch on a flea flicker in the game. Kentucky and Vanderbilt, 28-21. The Wildcats of Bill Curry over Vanderbilt. 22nd straight SEC road loss for the Commodores. LSU and Alabama appears to be rolling into a bowl game with a 6-5 record at the very least. They still have Auburn left on their schedule, of course. LSU drops to 4-5. Mississippi State beats